crazy?
I will never forgive you for telling Julieta that I was going to marry Adrian. Never!
Paulina, stop it!
Think about Paulina.
You will not leave me! You will not leave me! I won't allow it! You will not leave my side just for her! I forbid it!
Julieta, you're hurting me, okay? You're hurting me.
Julieta, let him go. You believe that you have things under control, but that is not the case. The only person who has control here is me, your father. Do I make myself clear? You have no choice. You have to agree to my supervision. If not, we're going to have you committed to a clinic.
What? I'm not crazy.
That's how it is.
I'm not crazy.
That is how it is.
My brother won't agree to this.
It is indeed the 23rd day of May 2022. Good afternoon and thank you so much for making time for KBC Lunchtime News on this 23rd day of May. A lot is lined up for you, so keep tuned. My name is Njue and Karo Njoroge will be assisting us with the sign language interpretation. Now straight to the news, we begin at the Bomas of Kenya, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati is currently having a conference there with the independent candidates and is currently addressing. Let's first of all hear what they have to say.
The Constitution is very clear on our mandate. We report to no authority or individual, and that is how this commission operates and shall continue operating. The KPMG audit is ongoing. It will conclude. The deliberations will be made public, and the recommendations of KPMG shall then be included in, or rather be adopted by the Commission, and shall be used to or incorporated in the register. The register must be ready on or before 9th of June. By 9th of June, the register must be ready, must be certified by the Commission, shall be gazetted and available to all Kenyans, so that you can know who is really going to vote on the 9th of August. So the register will be shared accordingly, and it's the same register then that we shall use on the 9th of August for elections. The Commission gazetted timelines for submission of supporters, and this, I said, was done on 20th January. The date for submission is 23rd May, that's today. We have a good reason why we needed you to submit these documents by today, because we need to process and verify the data, and reasons for verifying have been given. You will be giving us copies of IDs, and we have to compare the data against the register. And the reason, again, for submitting today is that if there's an issue, then you can go bring some more people in between today and time you'll be given by the Commission. The Commission has heard your pleas, and we want to say this, that because of the many requests, and I think that's the resounding question across the room, we shall say this, that if those of you have come with supporter signatures, however few they are, submit to the team, but we shall give you up to 25th of May to submit the rest of the signatures, so that you give us time to process until by the time you come for candidate registration, we shall be ready for you. And so that is what the commission will do. You can submit what you have today. If you have not bound your documents, please go and bound. Inform the secretariat that's what you want to do. Go and bind them and bring them. But between today and 25th, ensure that you have submitted your signatures together with the copies of the documents we have asked for. Thank you very much.
IEBC boss there, Wafula Chebukati there, meeting independent aspirants there, and it is all about submitting of documents. And something that was key that I've been able to pick out is that issues can be ironed out in due time, that is from today, and also the voter signature. If there's any issues with the voter signatures, then the aspirants have until 25th of May to submit the rest of signature. That is those signatures that will not be accepted by the IEBC. Our reporter Gladys Mungai is keeping her eyes peeled for that report, and will be back with a more comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletin. Elsewhere, Dennis Karani Gachoki, the man identified by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations as the key suspect in the shooting of a man in Mirema last week, has surrendered himself to the DCI. Dennis has denied involvement in the execution of Samuel Mugota, a man accused by police of running a criminal gang. Dennis has, however, admitted to knowing Mugota, saying that they have been business associates since the year 2015.
In a wanted poster which was circulated last Friday on social media, investigators said they had identified Dennis Karani Gachoki as the main suspect in the killing of Samuel Mugota in Mirema Drive. Mugota was slain in broad daylight in a gangland style of execution. According to the police, the two business partners had fallen out, leading to the murder of Mugo. However, Karani, who says he has known the man for more than 3 years, claims he does not own a gun and does not belong to any criminal gang.
Talking of something like a gun, mimi mara ya mwisho hata sijaiona gun. Mimi gun ni kuona ni manaonanga na askari. Sijaiguza gun na mikono yangu. So I'm wondering how dangerous am I? We are together here. Can you say as if I'm a dangerous person?
Karani says he was shocked after seeing a poster circulating on social media that he was a key suspect in the Mirema Drive killing.
Actually, mimi nimekuwa yani uwezi ongea hadi watu wameshtuka, familia wanashindwa kwani what's happening? Watu wameshtuka, wa familia wote wameshtuka, wanashindwa kunaendeleaje. Everyone is worried because actually being connected to Amanda is not an easy thing.
Speaking at the DCI headquarters, Karani said he last met and spoke to Mugota in 2021.
Mimi niliona hata wakisema sijui nilionekana Band Forest. I've not been there. Mimi kufika hizo maili za Band Forest hata siwezi kumbuka mara ya mwisho ilikuwa lini. Sijui naona wakisema niko mafitoni, sijui naenda sijui neighboring country. Mimi nimekuwa Nakuru.
Police say Mugota was behind a vicious gang of men and women dragging revelers and robbing victims of their money and valuables. Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
That's definitely a story we are keeping a close eye on, and we'll be giving you more information as soon as we get it. Elsewhere, Nambale Member of Parliament Sakwa Bunyasi has called on the national government to create a special fund to cater for school fees for needy children. Speaking during Sierra Secondary School during a distribution of bursaries, Bunyasi noted that the funds will be a great help to needy families.
Mimi ningependa tuwe nacho tuwe na fedha ambazo zinasaidia watu ambao wenye hali nyingi ya umasikini. Neno umasikini sisi hatupendi kulisikia, lakini ukweli kwamba sisi Busia tuko chini sana. Juzi walifanya hesabu ya orodha ya maskini Busia. Wakasema 83% wako kwenye hali ya umasikini. Nayotaka sasa ni serikali ilete maendeleo inayoguza hawa watu. Mimi nikiwa county tutaanzia hapo. National government pia tutaomba waangalie hali ya umaskini Busia We are number 44 out of 47.
Elsewhere, scholars, professionals, sheikhs and Council of Elders from Wajio West constituency have endorsed former Assistant Minister for Livestock Mohammed Ahmed Khalif as the preferred choice in the August 9th general election. Accepting the endorsement, Khalif urged area residents to elect visionary leaders who can spur growth and development in the area.
Ninajua mumesimama na mimi. Ninajua mumeamua safari hii mambo ni Mohammed Ahmed Khalif.
A team of professionals who include scholars, sheikhs and Council of Elders and residents of Wajio West are now rooting for former Assistant Minister of Livestock Mohammed Ahmed Khalif to represent the constituency in the August 9th general elections.
Wiki jana Mohammed Ahmed Khalif ni kijana ambaye alikuwa naibu wa waziri wakati fulani, na tukaona vitendo ambaye amefanya yote. Kwa haya ndio mimi nachagua yeye.
Katika Wajio kitu gani nafaa na mtu gani nafaa, alafu mimi napata kalbi yangu imeshikwa kama nafaa Mohammed Ahmed Khalif. Kile hiyo mnaleta yeye na inshallah baka yeye napata kubata niko bandi ya Mwenyezi Mungu, abana mkono yetu wala abana binadamu.
Khalif is expected to face other aspirants who have declared interest for the Member of Parliament seat in August 2022. Speaking in Wajir town during his endorsement, Ahmed Khalif urged area residents to seize those seeking leadership positions and not to be swayed by empty promises.
Nitasimama na nyinyi usiku na mchana. Katika sisi sote ambaye tunawania hiyo kiti ya Wajio West, nadhani nyinyi kama raia mnatoelewa kila moja yetu. Mnajua uzito ya kila moja yetu. Na mnajua kila moja yetu anasimamia nini. Mnanijua hamunijui? Mnanijua hamunijui? Sisera zangu mimi nimesema.
Elders presented a certificate of recognition to Khalif, saying he has always stood with the locals.
This Ahmed Khalif is a natural leader, aspiring, resourceful leader. So what you have your vote, your choice, your vote. So you should elect him as the next legislature. You mean what the next lawmaker in the Parliament of Kenya. This guy, he can make impact in the parliamentary of Kenya.
Ila amani tunajua hakuna maendeleo yote yataendelea, hata ibada haitakuwa. Sasa Mohammed ninajua kwanza ataanza na unganisha kwanza watu wa Wajio West wote. Kuanzia ada masajida, baka Arbajahan, baka Bisho, ataunganisha watu. Akiunganisha watu, tupate amani na tudumishe amani. Saa hiyo nina hakika mambo wa maji pia atamaliza. Kwa sababu
he said for the last 15 years, the area has stagnated in development due to bad leadership, promising not to let them down if elected.
Sisi mimi kama kiongozi yenu, kitu ya kwanza kwa vile tuko katika mwaka ya uchaguzi. Mwaka huu mnajua kawaida kuna kuanga na mambo mengi. Mimi yangu ninawaomba mudhibitishe amani. Tukae kwa amani. Wafuasi yangu ninawaomba na wengine wote wa Kenya wenzangu, tuweze kufanya kampeni zetu kwa njia ya haki na kwa njia ya amani. Tusije tunakuwa watu ambao wanatukanana, tusije tunatumia vijana wetu vibaya ama kwa njia mbaya.
The seat is currently held by Mohammed Ahmed Kolosh.
Away from politics, Chief Justice Martha Koome has issued a stern warning to parents who have a tendency of criminalizing teachers and the institutions whenever indisciplined cases or indisciplined students are expelled from schools. Koome says if such cases end up in court, they will be dismissed and parents told to bear the cost. Coming to you in a short while, but elsewhere, a family of a renowned former minister from Kisii County has established a museum to support competency-based curriculum, CBC, promote environmental conservation and honor the head of the family. The museum, located at Kijauria, in Borabu Sub-County, home to the late Andrew Omanga, a Ministry for Environment and Natural Resources, will be stocked with materials depicting the Gusii culture as well as the famous soapstone.
You do not know where to find it. Here we have brought it to Gusii.
Ken Omanga, a son to former legislator the late Nyari Bari Masaba, said the family was inspired by the need to infuse local history with the current education system.
It was really life because we got it almost the exact size of an average size.
The museum has so far attracted 70,000 visitors. The family is said to have borrowed the idea from some international airports where popular Kenyan wild animals were displayed in artifacts.
The natural habitat, and the idea is just to expose our people learn, and at the same time it's also an entertainment place where our community members are able to come, have a picnic, enjoy the walk through. We really don't have that kind of space because of our land area, but here we have sufficient land area, and we said yes, let us create an opportunity for people to go through and enjoy themselves and enjoy the wildlife.
Carvings of extinct and existing wild animals are positioned in an area typical of the natural habitat of the live ones. Omanga said the museum will go a long way in encouraging conservation efforts besides offering entertainment. The museum will be stocked with more cultural artifacts from the local Kisii community, including the famous soapstone from South Mugirango in Kisii County. Trevor Ngendo, Lunchtime News.
Very well, at about 13 minutes past the hour, we are due for our first break. But before we do that, allow me to appreciate Johnston Smith Kwan watching live from Kericho. Calvin Kiprop, you say you're tuned in from the City of Champions, Eldoret. Johnny Etor, you say you are watching, and also Pastor Steve watching from Daystar at the River, Mbele Pamoja, and Ben's boys keeping up the good work. We're definitely gonna do that. Let's have that break. We'll be right back with more news.
Kingdom will note this.
Oh, don't give a damn what they think.
He has the J-Dragon fan. I guess. He must be Echo.
Would you like to teach him a lesson?
Sued them, and they were like, you used our material, we need to be paid for it, you know. We weren't asked, there was no consent, so how about we just to sort.
Ndio ilifanya nikajua my power ya kuwrite, so I can perform, if I'm not wrong, 3 hours or 3 hours 30 minutes my own composition.
Okay, dai kwambia dem na kulove, unamwambia na kulombotov.
Kulombotov.
Bala usikimbitia, ukitaka kwambia msee na kuhate, unamwambia mimi na kuhembetete.
This song is dope. These guys are back.
They are back.
Napozama kwa tatizo oja, ngori na bala haziwezi kwa reality. Kya when me life stay away oja, captain of my life, father steer me back to sanity.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Yes. Mami nakuuliza. Sisi tulifight waboberu tugawafight tugawa na gina chatabare tugawatoa. Kumbe tumebakisha mabeberu ngine hapa.
Yaani mimi ni beberu. Ushai pepetwa na mwanamke wewe?
Ulipepeta kama moto sasa.
Mimi niko na wageni huko unaniweza hapa hivi alafu unaniambia ujinga.
Umetegea chovu ya anagula mabuyu na asali. Ukaona ugule pesa uchefujie.
Ukalia nini?
Sisi tuli hapa hivi.
Sisi huko ndani hapo uweze kalia hapo ni makosa. Hakuna
wewe unakani kama hauko sawa hapa upstairs.
Sasa baba una
Welcome back and thanks for keeping me company. Let's now revisit our earlier story where Chief Justice Martha Koome has issued a stern warning to parents who have a tendency of criminalizing teachers and the institutions whenever indisciplined students are expelled from schools. Koome says if such cases end up in court, they will be dismissed and parents told to bear the cost.
Speaking at the Loreto Girls High School in Limuru, Chief Justice Martha Koome said parents should ensure they instill discipline in their children.
Our constitution is very, very good. It has very, very clear values that we should follow. Values of parental responsibility, that we have the obligation to bring up our children, to encourage them, to support them until they can be able to thrive.
Koome also noted that there is great improvement in child protection laws, whereby suspects found guilty of child abuse are sentenced to not less than 20 years in prison as a way of ensuring children are fully protected. Deputy Chief Justice Judge Philomena Mwilu challenged parents to be more proactive in the upbringing of their children, creating enough time with their children for effective child monitoring.
And if you are not part of your child's school, anything else you do in vain. And when you are part of your child's life and you take active participation in school, you should just marvel at the success of your child.
Court of Appeal Judge Mumbi Ngugi urged the government through the Ministry of Education to ensure that most national public schools have special classes for students living with disabilities to enhance equality for all, as well as give equal opportunities to Kenyan children.
The ability to go to an institution like this builds up the esteem of even those whom society finds very different, whom society would like to tread upon and make to feel low and unworthy.
Beatrice Getonyingetich, Lunchtime News.
Migori residents are being encouraged to embrace fish farming in ponds to boost production and secure a steady flow of income. Migori County Commissioner Meru Mwangi pledged that the national government would offer fingerlings to fish farmers and help them access cheaper feeds to kickstart their venture.
The current annual fish production in Kenya stands at about 400,000 tons, while demand is at 600,000 tons amid dwindling production in aquaculture. To bridge the gap, farmers are being encouraged to embrace aquaculture as an economic activity. Migori County Commissioner Meru Mwangi says residents should embrace fish ponds instead of the traditional fishing directly from Lake Victoria that is experiencing dwindling stocks due to overfishing.
The inland aquaculture subsector in Kenya is growing rapidly in response to declining capture fisheries and increasing national demand for fish, occasioning a deficit in fish demand, which is currently met partially through fish imports, with serious quality assurance concerns.
Fish ponds are now popular in the Lake Victoria Region Basin, and the national and Migori County governments are pledging to support it.
We should not continue doing fish or fish farming as a normal enterprise, just as an enterprise, but a commercial enterprise. Kwamba katika ufugaji wa samaki tuweze kupata pesa.
Okinda identified feed as the key challenge to fish production, adding that the Migori County government is working on a subsidy program.
The county has been able to support our farmers with fish farm inputs and other interventions. Like this year alone, this financial year alone, we were able to give up to 345 farmers 345,000 fingerlings.
Fish farmer groups have been urged to embrace stable banking in order to help them pool resources to grow economically, and that the county and its partners has identified 37 youth group champions that will be trained on fish entrepreneurship.
To involve the women and youth in agriculture, the county, through ABDP, has identified 37 youth champions who are in charge of 370 youth entrepreneurs in efforts to mentor and the energetic youth into fish farming. These youths will be supported to start and improve their businesses that target the aquaculture value chain development.
Officials believe Migori County has the potential of producing 450 metric tons of fish, but it is only managing 147 metric tons. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
From fish to coffee, Kenya will be pushing for the integration of coffee as an anchor commodity in the African Union during the upcoming African Coffee Summit later this week. The meeting that has been will bring together more than 25 coffee-growing countries in Africa is expected to craft various strategies for deepening coffee production and intra-African export. Kenya is also expected to use the meeting to restore its status as a center of coffee research and the technological hub of coffee trading in Africa.
Statistics from the Inter-African Coffee Organization indicates that for the last 5 years, only 58,424 tons of clean coffee have been exported to 11 countries within Africa. This has been blamed on logistical challenges and low consumption of coffee in Africa, which accounts for a significant portion of global coffee produced in the world. To deepen the coffee trade within Africa, 25 heads of state and governments from coffee-producing countries in Africa are expected to converge in Nairobi for 2 days to sign the Nairobi Declaration. The summit, dubbed Sustainable Development and Economic Growth in the African Coffee Sector, will seek to marshal consensus for integrating coffee as an anchor commodity in the African Union in harmony with the Africa Union Agenda 2063. Organizers say the summit, dubbed G25 African Coffee Summit, will also link coffee producers and marketers with other buyers from around the world. Coffee is a major socio-economic player in Africa, contributing billions of dollars in foreign exchange to the African economy and supporting an estimated 10 million people on the continent. Kenya has been a member of the Inter-Africa Coffee Organization since 1960, when IACO membership was 11 states, which has now grown to 25 states today. Coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. Alan Auko, Lunchtime News.
Across the Kenyan border, the Ugandan Development Bank has made an initiative to address the persistent gap in accessing growth capital for emerging businesses in Uganda through the Deal Flow Facility. The project aims to create and sustain jobs as well as support businesses in their post-COVID-19 recovery. Here are the details of this and other stories from across the continent.
The Uganda Development Bank has launched the Deal Flow Facility for operators in the tourism value chain in Uganda to support the sector with post-COVID-19 recovery through greening activities as well as mitigating job losses. The facility will be accessible to companies that will ensure that they retain 75% of employees at the time of signing of the contract, as well as demonstrate that the retained staff are paid 100% of their gross salaries for at least 2 years. Businesses in the tourism value chain will benefit from a grant from the European Union and soft loans from the Uganda Development Bank, which seeks to fast-track post-COVID-19 recoveries. Tourism employs close to 605,500 Ugandans with a contribution of 7.7% to the economy. Meanwhile, Germany wants to intensively pursue gas and renewable energy projects from Senegal as it seeks to reduce reliance on Russia following the invasion of Ukraine. Senegal's president says that the country is ready to work with Germany in terms of gas exploration, project financing, and supplying the European market with liquefied natural gas. He forecast Senegal's liquefied natural gas output to reach 2.5 million tons next year and 10 million tons by the year 2030. Finally, indigenous groups in South Africa are concerned that a controversial development project to build Amazon's African headquarters on land that they hold sacred could still go ahead despite a court ruling that has suspended the construction. Groups representing the descendants of South Africa's earliest inhabitants, the Khoi and San, filed a successful court motion in March to halt the construction of the 70,000 square meter River Club development in Cape Town, where Amazon was slated to be the main tenant. The judge ruled that the development's economic and infrastructural benefits should never override the fundamental rights of indigenous groups.
Further afield, the head of the World Health Organization has warned that the world is facing formidable challenges, including COVID, the war in Ukraine, and the monkeypox. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus was speaking in Geneva, Switzerland, where the UN Health Agency experts were discussing the monkeypox outbreak in 15 nations outside Africa. More than 80 cases have been confirmed in Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, and Israel.
COVID pandemic is not the only crisis in the world, as stated by Dr. Tedros. There are outbreaks of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, monkeypox and hepatitis of unknown cause, and complex humanitarian crises in Afghanistan, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, the Syrian Arab Republic, Ukraine, and Yemen. The WHO earlier said that a number of other suspected monkeypox cases were being investigated without naming the countries involved, and warned that more infections were likely to be confirmed. The virus is now spreading in the community, with cases detected which have had no contact with anyone who has visited West Africa, where the disease is endemic. The UK Health Security Agency has identified 20 cases so far, with cases mostly found in some urban areas and among gay and bisexual men. Although there is no specific vaccine for monkeypox, several countries have said that they are stocking smallpox vaccines, which are about 85% effective in preventing infection because the two viruses are quite similar. For Lunchtime News, my name is Paulina Simiu.
And back home, Deputy President William Ruto has pledged to revive all stalled industries in the region to address the challenge of unemployment if he is elected president in August. The DP was speaking during an economic forum that brought together close to 3,000 delegates from Kiambu County. Ruto further promised to address the demand for housing in the region, promising to create affordable mortgage for the residents. He further said his government will help reduce the price of coffee, tea, and milk.
We are going to establish a new foundation for the politics of our country going forward. That we are going to bring issues into the political conversation. That we are going to centralize priorities as agreed with ordinary people, and we are going to put at the center the economy of our nation.
At about 31 minutes past the hour, we are taking another quick break, but when we come back, we'll be taking you through some more stories and, of course, Sports at the tail end of this newscast. Don't go away.
will suit them and